What is going on, guys? So I wanted to hop on here and make a video real quick to myself 10 years ago, giving myself advice about all the things that I've learned about health and wellness that have had the biggest impact on the way that I feel, the way that I look, the way that I'm able to perform and recover. And if I had have known these things 10 years ago, I'd be at a much different place in my life today. But I believe everything happens for a reason. I'm on the perfect path right now, and I think because of all of the experiences I've had, I'm able to help pour into you guys and help you more, which is ultimately my mission. I want to help make people healthier and happier. So, first things first, the biggest impact that I've had on my health over the last 10 years is eating more single ingredient whole foods. It's kind of a craze right now. Everybody's talking about it. I don't think it's going anywhere. I think it's here to stay. Obviously, we've been eating whole foods for thousands of years. It's the way that we evolved, it's the way that we were designed to eat. But recently, there's been a surplus of processed foods because it's a lot cheaper to make, and they taste better, right? There's a lot more dopamine that's released when we eat these foods. And so we don't really know any better, right? Like when you go to the grocery store, most stuff in there is super processed. And it's what's advertised to us on TV. It's what people around us eat. And so we just think that it's really normal to have a processed food diet. And so growing up, I was really lucky that I had health conscious parents that were cognizant of what we were eating. They were advocates for eating lots of fruits and vegetables. And so I had the I had the privilege of having that growing up. When I moved away and went to college, I had the chance to kind of experiment and start eating a lot of processed foods. I started shopping on my own. I was at the cafeteria my freshman year, and there was just like Fruit Loops and Lucky Charms and pancakes and like pizza and all this other stuff. And I gained my freshman 15. Like, I started having crazy acne. Like, it was just overall not the best experience. I started getting really sick. I hadn't really ever been that sick before college. And then in college, I started getting sick a lot. So it wasn't really a, you know, great experience, but it was a beneficial experience because it kind of showed me the contrast of what eating healthy was like growing up, going to college, not eating very healthy, to where I'm at now, which I've come kind of full circle and I eat even healthier than when I was a kid because I focus on a whole food diet. I'm not perfect, right? I still have processed foods. I think there's a time and a place for them, like guilty pleasure, Reese's peanut butter cups. I love those. I have those like on a weekly basis, sometimes multiple times a week. Like that's definitely one of my favorite things. But it's hard because like processed foods, they release so much dopamine in our brain and they're just like around us everywhere. They're so accessible. And so, I'll be driving by like a Chick-fil-A and I'm like, oh my God, dude, Chick-fil-A sandwich sounds so good right now. My mouth starts watering and like I'll fall into the temptation. I'll go get a Chick-fil-A sandwich and it tastes incredible when I'm eating it. Every single bite, like the crunchiness of the chicken sandwich, the flavor, the sauce, like everything is insane. And then 30 minutes later, I feel like shit, right? Like I want to take a nap. I can't even like keep my eyes open. So once I made the shift and started eating as many whole foods as possible, my energy levels changed, my sleep changed, my skin cleared up, my performance in the gym and running increased. Like overall, the impact that just eliminating certain foods from my diet and focusing on other foods had a drastic impact on my overall performance, my thoughts, the way that I felt, everything. So, the very first thing that I would change is what I'm eating. It's tough, right? Like it's tough to make the switch from where most people are at, the average American, and how much processed foods they eat, to trying to eat a strict whole food diet. It's really, really hard. It's like trying to quit smoking cigarettes. Some people can do it cold turkey, but most people are going to fail doing it. And so, my advice, just start with like one or two foods a day that are normally processed that you would eat and replace it with a whole food. And start trying to focus on like certain meals only being whole foods, whether that's breakfast, lunch, or dinner. You'll start to feel the difference. And it's a positive reinforcement loop. Like the better you feel, the more you'll want to eat those foods. And because of that, the better you're going to feel again. And it's just going to keep on going back and forth. So focus on eating a whole food diet. It's going to have a drastic impact on every other aspect of your life. The second thing that has helped me the most is focusing on getting high quality 8 hours of sleep every single night. Like as a species, we were designed to follow the circadian rhythm of the sun and the moon, right? Like nature's natural circadian rhythm. But with technology and artificial light and like distractions and cell phones and all these things, it's become so much easier to stay up late and have terrible sleep quality. And I remember like I was the last couple of years, like I was pretty focused on getting high sleep quality. I would supplement with magnesium and glycine, and I would have like a pretty solid evening routine to get my mind right for sleep. But I just wasn't getting the quantity. Like I was only getting 6 hours of sleep because I was working so much, and I'd wake up exhausted, and I couldn't figure out what it was. I thought that there was something else messed up with me. I thought maybe it was my diet. I thought maybe it was just stress. I couldn't figure out what it was. And then something had changed in my life where I was able to start sleeping a little bit more. And as soon as I started sleeping 8 hours a night, I would wake up like completely energized. Everything changed for me in that realm. And it was such a light bulb moment for me where it's like, well, no shit, if you sleep a little bit more, you're going to have way more energy. So prioritizing your sleep, not just the quantity, but the actual, not just the quality, but the quantity as well, made a drastic impact on me. And I think having a wind down routine and just like a sleep routine has been super beneficial for me. I kind of try and do the same thing every single night. When the sun goes down, I try to dim my lights. I have a pink Himalayan salt lamp in my bedroom and in my bathroom. I'll turn those on. I have some blue light blocking glasses. These puppies, they help a ton if I'm doing work on the computer or even just on my phone. It helps mitigate the blue light that's actually entering your eye, which messes up the release of your melatonin. So it just leaves you not feeling sleepy when it's time for bed. So I put these on. I will take a hot shower right before bed. And then once I come to my room, I have a weighted blanket. I throw on an eye mask. I have a nose strip to help breathe through my nose. And I'll actually put on mouth tape. So I'm only nasal breathing, which has helped my sleep like tremendously. And then, like I said, I supplement with glycine, magnesium. Sometimes I'll do L-theanine as well, and then other times I'll even like incorporate a chamomile tea. Or recently, I just tried a buckwheat tea, and that was delicious as well. So high quality sleep has been super, super impactful. Sleep is like so unbelievably important. We'll literally die quicker from lack of sleep than we do from lack of food. You can go months without food and still be fine, but if you go like over a week without sleep, you're going to die. That's how important sleep is. And evolutionarily speaking, like we shouldn't sleep, right? Because when we're sleeping, we're extremely vulnerable. We're not, mating. We're not producing more offspring. We're not hunting for food. Like it doesn't make sense why we sleep, but it's such an important thing for the way that our body's able to operate that we have to do it. And so I think that's just a sign of how important it really is and how much more focus we should be putting onto it every single night. The third thing that's helped me a lot is getting outside every single day and exposing my skin to as much sunlight as possible. Minimum, I try to get at least 10 minutes a day. If I can get at least an hour, I notice it helps a lot with my mood as well as just my normal sleep cycle. And with that, I try to move too. Like if I can even just go on a walk for 10 minutes or up to an hour, I feel incredible. If you're able to do more stuff like doing push-ups, squats, pull-ups, whatever it might be, like stimulating your muscles, that's extremely beneficial as well. Obviously, weightlifting is huge. Normally that's done indoors. But even if I couldn't weightlift, if I could just get outside and walk, it has been extremely transformative for my health, the way that I think, the way that I feel. And it kind of leads into the next thought, which is stress management. Being able to regulate my stress and find practices that help me lower my stress levels has helped me a lot. Stress is one of the easiest ways to shorten your lifespan. It messes with a lot of different functions in your body. And so finding different stress practices, or rather de-stress practices, such as breath work, meditation, listening to music that I love, and then also just gratitude, like trying to stay in the present moment and think about all the things that I have around me that I'm feeling like very, very grateful for. And one of the practices that I do sometimes is I just sit and try and think of every single thing possible that I could be grateful for. And if I don't think of it, I just imagine that I'm going to wake up with it or without it the next day. And so I just try to think of everything that I would love to have the next day. And if I didn't think of it, I would wake up and it'd just be gone. And so it really starts to make you think of like all of these incredible things that we take for granted sometimes that are truly magical. So finding a way to chill out, not think so much about the future, not worry so much about the past, be in the present moment, chill out, relax, take deep breaths, take control of the breath, and just de-stress. Like there's so much stress around us with the news, with social media. There's like so many different things pulling for our attention and making us anxious that finding a stress regulation practice has been super, super important for me. And the last thing that has helped me a lot in my health and wellness journey is having a goal and something that I'm aiming for with a specific deadline. So an example of this was signing up for a marathon. I'd never run a marathon before. The furthest I'd ever run was a half marathon. And so I had a desire to do like one marathon in my lifetime, just to say that I had done it. Not a lot of people do it, and I think it's a good challenge. And so I signed up for the marathon. And once I had signed up, I was like, shit, now I actually have to train. I'm going to have to, get out and run and be on my feet 5 days a week at minimum. Otherwise, I'm going to show up and I might embarrass myself. And so not only did I have the goal of completing the marathon, but I wanted to do it in a certain time as well. So some people are able to roll out of bed and run a marathon, but I wanted to do it in a specific time as well. So my original goal was under 4 hours, and with the training block that I had, I was able to hit that. I think it was like 3:57:30 or something like that. And it was definitely not the most ideal training block. It was like the worst time I could have trained for it. It was during the summer. I had a bunch of trips. I went to Japan. I went to Burning Man. I ended up getting super sick. I got like the sickest I'd ever been in my life, which was honestly a blessing in disguise. I ended up seeing a holistic doctor after that and worked on a lot of things internally in my body. And one of them was actually just reducing my stress. Like my stress levels were so high. But having a goal and having an aim for something that you want to accomplish, that's going to help get you out of bed in the morning. That's going to help you do things when you don't want to do them, help get you uncomfortable, go out, meet new people, try new things. Like that was such a pivotal moment for me. And there's been other challenges that I've done as well. 75 hard was huge for me, like having to wake up every single day, go do two workouts, stick to a diet, say no to drinking alcohol, reading 10 pages every single day. Like there's a lot of days where it's so easy just to let that go. And so having clear, specific goals with a deadline, just it's helped me progress a lot faster than if I didn't have that. So I think most people have goals, but they're just not as aware of them, and there's not a deadline on them. They're not in a, like, I don't want to say a rush, but there's no urgency to try and accomplish them, right? Like a lot of people just wake up and wander throughout the day aimlessly without any intention. So being able to wake up every single morning with intention and respecting your time, right? Like nothing's guaranteed. We only have this present moment. You never know what could happen. You could be on a walk and get hit by a car. You could have a heart attack. Like you could get struck by lightning. You have no idea what's going to happen. So don't take anything for granted. And one thing that like really helps try and fuel me is just becoming the ultimate version of myself. And so I don't want to be on my deathbed and look back and have any regrets about what I didn't do, things I didn't go out and try. experiences I said no to. So I want to be the best version of myself. I want to be able to say yes to as many experiences as possible. I want to be healthy. I want to make those around me happier and push them to be better. And so that's why I do what I do. I want to help people be healthier. I want to help people be happier. And so that's why I'm making this video. Like, this is for my 10-year past self, but this is, for you guys as well. Hopefully you've taken some value from this video and you're able to apply some of these things I've talked about, because it's helped me tremendously get to the point where I'm at. And I know that it's only going to continue to help me as I go throughout my life. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. Check out my Instagram. It's Bennett_Luke. I post on there every single day, trying to give you guys little tips and tricks and just insights into what's helped me. And hopefully it's going to help you guys. But appreciate it. I'm out. Peace.